Alright, physics students, one more time we're going to go through real quick what we're expecting from your floor plan layout, your schematic, and how exactly to go from here's the rooms I want, here's what I want lit, and here's what my circuit diagram is going to end up looking at. So, what you want to start with in this case is a floor plan. Your house can be whatever you want, but it has to be something you can actually build. Remember, the roof needs to come off so we can see inside and see what's going on. You need to have the rooms individually lit. You need to have a switch to control them. That's the general idea. So let's start with a fairly simple house. And our house is going to have 5 rooms. 4 smaller rooms, 1 larger room in the middle, easy enough. Each of these smaller rooms is only going to need 1 lamp in them. In this case, for the sake of argument, we'll say we'll use Christmas lights, which have their own resistor built in. This center room is larger. That'll be like our living room, so we'll have 2 lights in there to make sure the entire space gets lit. Okay, so here's our room. We know we want each room to be able to light up independently, so we're going to need some switches. So how do I go from this to a circuit diagram? Well, let's break it down. This first room has 1 light in it. Second room has 1 light in it. This third room has 2 lights in it. And then the last 2 rooms each have 1 light. Now, aside from those lights, the only other component I really have to have in each room is a switch, because I need to be able to control them independently. So let's draw a switch in for each of these. Okay, so now each of these lights has a switch, but we're not at a circuit yet because we haven't connected anything. So we're going to need to go through and put in wires to connect stuff. So here's a wire that connects this light to this switch, this light to this switch. We're going to connect both of these lights to this switch in series. And then each of these only have the 1 light on their switch. Okay, so now I have a simple diagram for each room. Here's room 1, room 2, room 3, room 4, and room 5. Not done yet though, because I still have to have some kind of power source to make this go. So we're going to have a battery over here. Now the battery can't just hang out and magically power things wirelessly. We're going to have to connect this in. So we'll add wires to the battery, and then we'll connect this whole thing in so they have one big series circuit with a bunch of parallel circuits broken out from each room. Now, if we look at this and we look at this doesn't line up perfectly. This is a simplified version of what it's actually going to look like. When you flip your house upside down, the wires are going to be more chaotic than that. So you're not done at this point. This is the simplest stage. Here's where you've thought out where stuff's going to go. But you guys need to take this a step further. There needs to be another step where you draw out a diagram of how you're actually going to wire the house, not just this idealized version. So that's really going to be the part where you guys need to put in some creativity and thinking. Okay, so this is the simplest version that is just using the Christmas lights. They don't need a resistor in there because they have their own built in. What if you're wanting to do a little bit more advanced and do an LED? Well, that adds a step. So for the LEDs, we have a different symbol. The symbol for the LED is that triangle with a line and then the little arrow for the light coming out. So we'll do the same setup with the same number of rooms and lights. But these lights by themselves aren't enough. You have to have a resistor. So we're going to add in a resistor after each of these lights. Now, which specific resistor you're going to require is going to depend on what type of LED you use. That's going to kind of be up to you. We still need our switches so we can control each room. And we still need our battery. So once we have all that down, we just have to wire everything up. So that is the same circuit using LEDs instead of just the Christmas light lamps. Now, once you have this done, you still have some math to do. Remember this equation? You're going to have to work that to figure out what kind of batteries you're going to need and how many. To do that, you need to do that equation for each of these, and then you need to find the equivalent resistance so you can calculate total voltage. If you don't remember how to do that, that's another tutorial that you're going to need to come to. But this, guys, is the thinking that needs to be going on.